This is our online school, SkillBridge Institute. Right now, we'll be discussing about project management. So the first thing that we need to understand is the definition of project management. So we need to understand that project management is the process of planning, organizing, and managing resources to achieve specific goal within a set time frame. So this is where you're trying to plan, where you're outlining those particular steps which are going to take for you to achieve your project. And at the same time, you are organizing the resources, human resource, financial resource, and other physical resources which will be needed in your project. And at the same time, you are managing those particular resources. You are talking of finances as well as the human resource and other resources. This is done in order for you to achieve your project goal, whether building a house, whether bringing a social project to the people of a particular community. And that one is supposed to be done within a set deadlines. You have got a date when you're going to start your project, and you have got a date when you're going to finish your project. So you need to understand that project management ensures that project is completed successfully. So if you are having that particular plan, that particular organization, and that particular management, you need to understand that your project is going to be successfully done. Right now, let's have an overview of project management. In project management, number one, I've got phase one where we're talking of conceive. So on conceive, you are number one, you are trying to identify need. So at this particular moment, you are now trying to identify a problem which is going to prompt you in so that you can come up with a project. So the key thing that we need to understand there is that for you to have got a project, the first thing that you need to have is a problem. So when you're addressing that, for you to address that particular problem, that is where a project comes in. For example, in a certain village, people don't have got good quality water. So because those people, they don't have good quality water, you're saying that because these people, they don't have this particular thing, we are going to come up with a project where we'll bring boreholes to these people of this particular community. So that is what we need to understand. Number two, you are trying to talk about feasibility. You are establishing the feasibility. You are now trying to look at your project to say, we are saying that we are going to bring boreholes to people of this particular community. Are we really going to manage this particular project? You're asking yourself that particular key question. From there, you are trying to look for alternatives. We are saying that we'll bring boreholes to these people. Are there no other alternatives apart from just bringing boreholes to these particular people? So you are now trying to think of other ways you can help them apart from just the project which you are thinking about. From there, you go to phase two. On phase two, you try to develop a plan. So at that particular moment, you are now trying to outline those particular steps which you are going to take for you to achieve your project. From there, you go to assess the risk factors. So at that particular moment, you are trying to assess those particular risks which can hinder your project success. You are trying to look at those particular different things that which can, by the end of the day, affect your project, and you can even fail to achieve your project because of those factors. So you are trying to look at those different factors. From there, you allocate a budget. So whenever you're having a project, that means you're going to have got different tasks on your project. So at this particular moment, you are trying to allocate amount of money to each and every task that is going to be there on your project. From there, you go to phase three, execute. This is where you are trying to put that particular actual work on the ground. You have now started implementing whatever you are planning. You have now started implementing it on the ground. So On that particular moment, you are trying to design a review. So here you are trying to assess to say whatever we planned on the paper, are we doing the exact thing on the ground? That is what you are trying to do right there. From there, we're talking of quality assurance. You are checking the quality which you were thinking initially to say, is this the quality that we are intending to give on the ground? So that is what you're doing there. From there, you control. At this particular time, you are trying to control the finances, you're controlling the risks so that your project should go successfully. Phase 4, you finishing your project. On finishing, you are now doing the reviews and acceptance. So you are reviewing how have we fared in our project, what are the successes and what are the failures which we have encountered in our project. From there, you go to issues management. So at this particular moment, you are trying to manage or you are trying to address those particular issues which can affect your reputation as an organization or as an individual. From there, you are trying to reassign remaining tasks. So on reassigning remaining tasks, we can give an example of you have delivered boreholes to people. At this particular moment, you say you are establishing those particular committees to say whenever our boreholes will have got some faults, who will be responsible people. So that is what you are trying to do. Those particular other remaining tasks, you are trying to assign them to different individuals. Or we can also give another example. You had a project where you were planting trees. So at this particular moment, you are going to say those particular trees which have survived, how are we going to take care of them? That is what you are doing on reassigning remaining tasks. Let's go to this other thing where we want to understand a project. What is a project? So we need to understand that a project is a temporary task with clear goals. So it is, when you're talking of a project, it is a task that has got a date when it's going to start and a date when it's going to end. We can have got the following examples. You are building a house. That is a project because you are going to have got a date when you're going to build your house, to start building your house, and a date when you're going to finish building your house. From there, you can have launching a new product, whether it can be a physical product or an online product. So it can also be a project. Why is project management important? Number one, it saves time and money. So just because you have managed to plan your things properly, you have managed to outline well your budget, by the end of the day, you are going to save time and you're going to save money. Another one, you are going to avoid mistakes just because you are even able to foresee some mistakes which are likely to happen in the future. So you are standing at that particular good ground when you're going to avoid those particular mistakes. So you're going to avoid those particular mistakes. Another one, you are going to ensure that everyone knows what he or she is supposed to do. So every team member will be aware of what the role he or she is supposed to play in that particular project. Let's understand what makes a project successful. So number one, you need to have got clear goals. You need to have got those clear goals on what you want to achieve by the end of that particular project. Another one, it is good planning. You need to ensure that you have got a very good planning. You have got those well outlined tasks for your project. Another one, you need to make sure that there is teamwork. So people should be working together in your project. The other thing is that there is supposed to be good communication within your team. So communication should be at the heart of your project. Thank you so much. So you need to understand that most of these things, we are going to learn them in these other subsequent lessons. Thank you so much.